So again, we've been working on passing over the last couple weeks. If we think back to our primary passing concept, all guard passes in Jiu Jitsu will see us accessing levers on our opponent's body to create movement, to help us turn their guard away from us. And then after this, we're looking to box their hips in and stabilize the top position or attack the back. When we're passing the guard, we have to have various means of disassembling our opponent's control mechanisms to enable us to set up our pass. So all that is to say, if somebody puts me into something like what we did last class with the spider guard, he has control over my body right now. So if I simply try to rely on my strength, my speed, my dexterity, my sheer force of will, that's not how you're going to pass a guard. You may encounter false positives where this person doesn't have a good guard to start with, and so because you're so big and strong, you can just throw their legs away and pass their guard. But again, that is a false positive. You're not passing because you're good at passing, you're passing because they're bad at guard. So let's make sure that we're clear here. We always are looking to disassemble our opponent's control to set up our own. So in the cases of our spider guard and lasso that we were looking at last class, we looked at counter gripping, creating a low high leg, kick breaking, and attacking the leg drag here. Notice I'm accessing levers to rotate his guard away, and I'm boxing in his hip. We also talked about passing the lasso as well. Same idea, we're trying to disassemble their grips and make sure that we can set up our own connections. I get my hand to an inside position, kick break, and I set up my leg drag. Now, we're gonna spend the rest of our week talking about the De La Riva. Now, we're gonna spend particular time working on sort of disassembling the De La Riva before we attack the leg drag. Because the De La Riva itself is a very strong lower body guard. So this can be particularly frustrating for beginners. The De La Riva is something that we've worked on over the last couple of weeks. The De La Riva sees our bottom player setting up an outside hook to create internal rotation on the knee, creating a frame on the far leg to be used to manage distance. He'll also be grabbing the pants on the bottom leg and a collar grip on the top half here. You can see how he has a lot of control over my body. Whereas with the spider guard, I was pretty freely able to move side to side. Here, I have basically nothing I can do to move on my own free will. So first things first, guys, we're gonna learn how to disassemble the De La Riva from here. Now, I'm gonna demonstrate how we're going to break all of these connections, and then we'll talk about our leg drag later. So I'm gonna go nice and slow. It looks like this. And now I've completely disassembled the De La Riva. I've removed myself from his control, and we're gonna start to attack our passes next. So again, the bottom player is gonna put the De La Riva in. He's gonna hook my knee, he's gonna grab the pants, he's gonna hold my collar and frame on his leg. We worked our De La Riva just a couple weeks ago, so this should hopefully be fairly fresh for most of us. First things first, guys, I need to understand that my alignment is going to make or break my pass. If I'm allowing my opponent to control my alignment, they're gonna sweep me, they're gonna submit me. So your alignment is comprised of three important parts. Your base, that's the connection with you and the floor. Your posture, the integrity of your spinal column, and the structure of your limbs. Structure refers to just the efficient positioning of our limbs to generate maximal force. So I need to address all of these parts on me. First things first, we're gonna address our posture. He's pulling me down and rounding my spine. This is no good. So what I'm gonna look to do is immediately frame off of his shins by using C-grips here, and I'm gonna create a nice low squat position. Look how I'm keeping my head up as high as I can. The more I look down, the more I round my own back. So again, I'm in a good low squat. I'm now gonna get a 2-on-1 grip right here on his wrist, and I'm gonna break this grip by pushing towards his thumb as I go backwards. So it's not just this. Now I'm just having an arm strength competition, okay? So I want it to be his hand versus my back. So as I break this grip, I move myself away from him. Immediately, I recompose to frame against his legs. Now that I have good posture and my back is rigid, I'm going to start to address the structure of my legs. So notice how my knee's turning in a little bit. He's pressing on this back leg. The more I sit here, the more he's gonna start to off-balance me and sweep me. So we're gonna start with this front knee. Internal rotation is dangerous. We always wanna try to get our knee turned back out to a safe angle. So to accomplish this, I'm gonna look to stiff arm his shin. I'm gonna push that shin down as I turn my knees outside. Now, as I'm turning this knee, it's not just the knee itself. Look, I'm gonna just try to turn my knee, but I want Coach Seth to keep this hook tight. So see how my knee's not actually moving. So how do we increase that external rotation? We start with the toes. You see how my toes turned out. Now this opens up my knee to a safe angle. Again, I'm framing off of his knees. I start to push this hook. I want this hook to pop off, right? So I'm pushing this hook down, and I'm gonna turn my knee open to a safe angle. Look how my leg becomes straight. When it becomes straight, go ahead and put the hook back in, coach. He no longer has a bent object with which to create a hook. So here, I go palm, right to the knee, straighten your leg, turn your toes out. And now my knee's at a safe angle. Okay, guys? Now the last piece is the most sort of annoying, and that is the pant grip, okay? I can't tell you how many times we have a white belt come in, and I'll just grab their pants, and they have no idea what to do. It's so frustrating, okay? So here's what we don't want to do. I don't want to just say, I'm going to get out of here and just start running away from that grip, okay? This is a very strong form of proxy control. They're going to use it to sweep you. So what we're going to do, again, we have to stay calm and relaxed. I'm going to start to continue to turn my knee out. So my knee is pointing to my right side. I'm now going to do a windshield wiper. We've maybe have seen this from our knee on belly before. I'm going to be posting my right hand out to my side as my knee touches. Now what we're doing is a bit of pain compliance. So bottom person, when a grip hurts, you let go of the grip. Okay, your fingers should live to see another day, please. But I cut my knee down, and now I'm going to take both of my feet and, like a pair of windshield wipers, flip them to the other side. And I break out of that sleeve grip, or that pant grip, rather. This works because what I'm doing is pinning his own shin against that wrist. I then shift my leg over top of a pinned hand, so his hand does not have the ability to follow the pant. So again, I go here, and I break that grip. We're going to stop in this position, and then we'll talk about how to attack the leg drag next. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of stuff happening here. That's why this is so important, especially for beginners. The second you get put into a very powerful open guard like this, and you don't know how to disassemble it, you're just going to get swept left and right. So let's look again, guys. Bottom person, set up a good De La Riva. Pant grip, collar grip, hook, and frame. First, address your posture. I have good base. Right? And you can even have the bottom person try to move you around a little bit. You should be fairly stable, okay? Not flopping all over the place. So we're going to go 1, 2. Immediately I readdress here. I'm now going to start to push that knee down, straighten my leg. When I straighten my leg, I'm going to start to turn everything to my right side. It's like I want to start running that way. My hand is going to post out to the floor, and now my knee drops right behind it. If you ever did wrestling, I'm basically doing like a kind of a bad wrestling shot, right? So now from here, I'm going to windshield wipe my feet and get them both to the outside of his body. Once we're here, guys, I just want you to come back up and stay in a good stance. Look how my left hand actually never moves. My left hand's just going to be maintaining this C grip on the shin the whole way through. Again, from the top. My opponent has control. 1, 2, 3. Now we're here, okay? I'll flip that around. One, 2, and 3. Now, a quick note here, guys. We'll turn to a right angle here. If this foot is doing a really good job of pressing you backwards, so you keep running into this, we can address that too. If that foot's really doing a good job of pushing you backwards, we're going to step our foot off line of where their press goes. His press is a leg press, right? His leg press goes in one direction, that away. So if I can move my knee off that line, his leg press is not going to be able to follow me as effectively. So again, this is going to be helping to maintain your base, right? If he widens my base here, now he makes me lose my balance. This is how we did our sweeps just a couple weeks ago, if you recall, our sit-up sweep and our front sweep. We use that foot push. So if that ever is a problem, just step your foot off the center line. So that way I can keep his foot away from me. Again, I push and escape the leg. I'll show one more time from this angle so you guys can see more detail on how I'm using that windshield wiper to get the pant grip away. So again, slow motion here. He's grabbing. I'm going to break the collar grip. 1, get your base, okay? Good low squat, frame on his legs, so I'm kind of pushing his legs into him. Now from here, as I straighten my leg, I push his knee down. Everything turns to my right. Now, I'm going to go nice and slow, guys. If you fall, if you feel like you're hitting the mat hard, that's because you're trying to go from too high of a height. So take your time. Get low, put your hand down, put your knee down, windshield wipe your legs, and come up. All righty, guys, I'll show once more without talking. We'll do it from the front. Here we go. Alrighty, guys. This one's going to take us a good bit to get down. We'll add in the leg drag, which will honestly be pretty simple at the end. All right, let's go. 1, 2. We work on utilizing the De La Riva to attack our opponent, so it makes sense that we need to understand how to also stay safe within the De La Riva and pass. Now, the De La Riva, from an attacking standpoint, is pretty complicated. Every limb has a different job. So it only makes sense that when you're trying to escape from this position, every limb is also doing a different job. So that means this is a fairly complicated series of movements we're doing right now. However, like we talked about with using the De La Riva to attack, the more nuanced that we can make our guard, the better our guard's going to be. Same with passing. The more nuanced you can make your passing, the better your passing is going to be. If your passing is one note, we're not addressing frame battles, we're not addressing disassembling control points, then your passing is not going to be that great. It's just going to be one note. And again, we'll run into false positives. Here were some of the notes that I was seeing as I was walking around, guys. So my opponent puts me in a De La Riva. You can be as proactive as you want with all of this stuff, right? So I don't want him to start turning that knee in. So I can immediately start framing and opening my knee out, okay? If I can stop him from grabbing my collar, I will do that. We're starting from the worst case scenario so that when worst case scenarios come up, you're not going to freak out, okay? So he puts me in the worst case scenario of a completely controlled De La Riva. So again, keep your base, keep your posture, keep your structure, and just address all of these control points. 1, 2, okay? Look, I'm here. Now from this position, guys, some of us are trying to go right into our windshield wiper. Remember, he still has a De La Riva hook in. The windshield wiper is for dealing with the pant grip, okay? The windshield wiper is for dealing with this. I need to get this hook off first. Some of us are forgetting this part. So remember, I'm palming the inside of his knee, straightening my leg, and turning my toes out. Here, okay? So again, he has me like this, so I palm and turn. Now I take his hook off. Now I need to address that hand. If my partner is not very strong with this grip, you may very well just be able to pull their hand off, okay? But let's not assume that our opponent has bad control. Let's assume that they're really, really tight, really controlling as well, okay? So again, from here, if I'm scared with him pushing this foot, I'm going to step away from the line of that leg, okay? And again, I just kind of like a rudder of a boat, just trying to catch my balance here. Now, one thing that I was seeing, guys, is that our angle when we were doing the windshield wiper was a little bit dangerous. Some of us were going straight over top of the knee, which could easily separate the patella. I could cause some serious damage here. I'm trying to go out, perpendicular to my opponent. Remember, I'm disengaging from him, so I'm not trying to go towards him here. Now I'm loading up on top of legs. He can sweep me, and it's also unnecessarily dangerous on the kneecap. So I turn, I post out perpendicular. Not here. This is going to give him lever control. He can start to control this arm. I'm going to post out here. My knee touches down, and now I windshield wipe my feet. When I windshield wipe my feet, don't do this. Now, what have I just done? I've just taken what would have been a good scenario to pass from and completely reset. We're not looking to completely reset. We're looking to disengage from this control. So if I just completely reset everything, all right, now he's playing guard again. I need to pass again. And here we go. Let's go back to it. So let's utilize that ending position from here as we come up. Let's utilize this position to attack the leg drag. So if you notice, my left hand was still holding onto that leg. This is going to be the leg drag. His legs are already turning and facing this direction. So my goal here is to get myself behind this leg. So let me show the whole thing. That way you can see it in context, and then we'll break it down. Here we go. And I come into my leg drag, okay? So I'm just doing my leg drag, but I'm just moving around to the other side. So we're gonna start again, guys. I want you to get sort of accustomed to disassembling that De La Riva. Okay, so he has all of his control here. So I disassemble, drop your mic, and then you come up on your feet, okay? So look here, guys. I'm still holding this top leg. You can either pant grip, or remember, if the pants are like particularly tight and we can't really get a good pant grip, it's okay to just keep the C grip here on the shin. Now, what's different from where we normally do our leg drag? Normally when I leg drag somebody, we're here. We're squared on with them. So I have to really slam that door hard, really drag that leg across to get the movement I need. Here, he's already done that movement for me, right? If you look at this, here, watch, I'm gonna slam the door. Now I'm gonna freeze Coach Seth in space and time. Watch this. This is where we come up from. So all I'm gonna do is keep his leg in this position. So I can either C-grip or grab the pants. I'm gonna grab his ankle, and I'm gonna pull his foot past me as I shuffle around that leg. So I never run into his foot, obviously. We don't run into walls. So if I encounter a wall, I move myself around it. And look here, guys. I come down, find that bottom hip, drop the shoulder, and now we're in our tight leg drag. And just like we've been working over the last 2 weeks, we're gonna finish our leg drag based on how our opponent reacts. If they stay flat on their back, I'm gonna look to pummel, crossface underhook, finish on top. Once you're here, guys, you can start to attack the mount, create wrist pins, and set up your submissions. Alternatively, if I get a good leg drag and I turn him, I'm gonna look to attack the back and take the back here. Thank you, Coach. So, again, we'll do it from a side view this time, guys. Okay, so Coach Seth has me in De La Riva. So I disassemble, and I come up. So his guard is already pointing at me. I need to get myself behind it so I can grab or keep the C-grip, but I'm gonna grab his ankle, pull it past me, and shuffle past him. So look, I'm kind of doing like this shuffle movement. Okay, my feet are playing follow the leader. I don't cross. I'm not tiptoeing through the woods. Okay, I'm here. I shuffle. That sounds familiar, right, guys? In our warm-ups at the start of class. Shuffling, right? Same movement. High shuffle. I high shuffle to my right. Excuse me, to my left. Now immediately, I drop the shoulder, and I finish. Okay, we'll go again from the rear. Alrighty, guys, and I'll show one more time from the front view as well. Nice and slow without talking. Here we go. Any questions, guys? All right. If he's grabbing high up on my collar? Great question, yeah. Grip breaks are always gonna work regardless of where their hand is because it's his fingers versus my back, okay? Thank you, Coach. So, Coach, we'll be nice here, but hold on as tight as you can. You know what I mean? It's my entire back versus his 4 little fingers. That's not a battle I want to win or I want to play, you know what I mean? So, yeah, if he's got a really high grip, yeah, same grip break. Boom, break it off. All right, bottom person, remember, if a grip hurts, you need to let go of it, okay? Find something else to grab, live to fight another day. Okay, guys? Any questions on this leg drag from De La Riva? Let's try it out. 1, 2. I hope that we're starting to wrap our heads around that leg drag, and you're starting to see the number of applications that we have for that one single guard pass. The leg drag, in my opinion, is one of the most user-friendly guard passes. It's very simple. You see it at the lowest level, you see it at the highest level, so it's a great one to get good at. Now, with that particular leg drag, the leg drag itself, that was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just get behind and drag. The whole beginning part was the meat and potatoes of our lesson, right? How to disassemble and escape from the De La Riva, right? This can be a difficult task, especially if your partner's got a really good guard. So like we always talk about, if you're stuck in a dangerous position, stay calm, relax, and try to focus on your goals. Your goal shouldn't be, I'm gonna tap this guy out. Your goal is, I'm gonna get my posture back. I'm gonna get their hook off of me. I'm gonna get that pant grip away from me. These are your goals, right? So focus on the small details, then the bigger picture will come into view. I wanna share one little detail for the bottom player. This is just something that I see a lot of times with beginners when we're doing leg drags, is you get into a bit of a bad habit, and I just want to address this real quick. So if Coach Seth leg drags me, tell me if you've ever done this, right? He grabs the pants, he slams the door. Did you hear that? Let's do it again. Go ahead, Coach. What is that? That's my guard failing. So even though we're drilling, guys, get into good habits. When somebody leg drags me, look what I do. Look where my feet are. My feet are up, okay? His shoulder's coming down. Look what I'm doing. I'm framing. I'm creating good habits that are going to develop your guard. Even though we're drilling, repetition adds up. So my challenge for you is when we're doing something like, let's say, a leg drag, don't let your feet slam on the floor, okay? Be disciplined. Keep your feet off the mat. This is going to keep your guard engaged. He can still do the leg drag. And look how I'm now able to start framing, okay? So now I'm developing my guard from the bottom. Now again, it's not wrong to let your feet hit the mat when we're drilling. Of course, we're just practicing, but I just wanted to demonstrate this so that you can see that those little repetitions will add up over time.